go ahead and give a very brief introduction for Swami Swaroopananda. Swami Swaroopananda is the global head of Chinmaya mission. Swami Tejomayananda, our beloved Guruji, entrusted him with this responsibility in year 2017. Puja Swami Swaroopananda chairs Central Chinmaya Mission Trust, CCMT, the apex of the governing body of over 300 Chinmaya mission centers and trusts the worldwide. He is Chancellor of Chinmaya Vishwavidyapit and the Chairman of Chinmaya International Residential School in Coimbatore. Needless to say, Swami Swaroopananda is a dynamic leader and able administrator. He is the personality that blends authenticity with accessibility, theory with self-practice, and logic with heart. Swamiji brings the wisdom of Vedanta and universal oneness of religion to the variety of audiences. He has envisioned and conducted numerous spiritual classics such as management seminars and has authored several books and commentaries on important spiritual classics such as Ik Onkar, Maha Mrtyunjaya Mantra, Sankat Mochan, and others, which is for the next 5 days, right here in Smriti Hall, Swamiji is offering a Jnana Yajna on Maha Mrtyunjaya Mantra, which is a universal prayer chanted for the spiritual and material prosperity of all. The essence of this powerful mantra is much deeper, and Swamiji will unfold this profound knowledge and devotion during his discourses to soak all of us Houstonians in this. Now, without any further delay, may I invite Swamiji on the stage, please?
Hari Om. Sound is clear? Great. First and foremost, delighted to be with all of you again. It's been quite some time with the pandemic in between, so couldn't see most of you. Some I know have come for the first time. So very nice to be with, if I get the word right, Houstonian. Also, before I start this session, as I went to the beautiful temple, it just reminded me that it's so timely that I am speaking in this sacred place on this Maha Mantra, which is Maha Mrtyunjaya Mantra. Many of you are familiar with this mantra as being that mantra that protects you from severe illnesses and untimely death. It is also the mantra that leads us to immortality and many more that I will be explaining from the studies, reflection and meditation on this mantra. But as I came from the temple, I'm sure all of you will agree on the great contribution that our Darshana auntie and Gaurang uncle have done for this place as well as for that. And for the first visit, Darshana Ben is not here with us because she's been unwell. So as I took the sankalpa at the temple, this Maha Mrtyunjaya Gyan Yajna I conduct for the well-being of everybody as usual, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, but with special thoughts for our dear Darshana auntie. So we'll keep her also in our prayers, along with everybody, of course, when we chant the Maha Mrtyunjaya mantra. It's been very, very dear to all of us, and we pray for her quick recovery, well-being, and all goodness in her life. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Chinmayam Vyapiyat Sarvam, Trailokyam Sacharacharam, Tatpadam Darshitam Yena, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshi Mamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshi Amritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshi Amritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshi Amritat. Bhagwan's grace, all of us having been given this most precious birth, that too also of a human being with the capacity to develop intelligence and to go beyond our present framework of our destiny, to not only enhance our destiny, but go beyond our destiny to be free from the bondage of action, birth, death. This very precious human birth given to all of us with the ability to not only face our destiny, go through our destiny, but also to enhance our destiny and go beyond destiny. And our great rishis, not only having a full knowledge of our life, gave us some very, very simple tools by which we can develop our mind in such a way that we can achieve the impossible. But that courage, that fearlessness, that confidence is lacking in most people. Even in this trip, traveling all over the country, and actually having traveled all over the world in this 1 year, everywhere we are not only talking about mental well-being, mental health, mental disease, and especially amongst children, teenagers. That stage of their life, which should be full of joy, full of enthusiasm, building confidence, trying to reach out to the sun and the moon and the stars. If the condition today is that they are under severe mental conditions of depressions, dejections, guilt, sense of failure, and most of all, even if it is not severe, the lack of self-identity and self-confidence. Whether it is the pressure of parents, society, teachers, or of peers, or of media, the onslaught that is there on the minds of the children, until and unless, and not only children, all our minds, and especially as you start aging, another set of decline happens. Therefore, we need something by which we can strengthen our mind, brighten our intellect, develop that confidence, that inspiration, that enthusiasm at every stage of our life to grow into greater beings, that before we depart from this world, our rishis say that we attain immortality. Sant Kabir says, जब हम पैदा हुए जग हंसे हम रोए. The story of everybody's birthday. You were crying and the whole world was laughing at your crying. And that continues all life, isn't it? Laugh and the world laughs with you. Cry and the world laughs at you. So whole life goes in the same way as we are born. But simple principles of life these saints have given us. ऐसी करनी कर चलो. Act in this world in such a manner that we depart from this world free, joyous, smiling, gracefully, and the world pines for us. Not that you make the world cry, that we are making every day. ऐसी करनी कर चलो, हम हंसे जग रोए. This is the way of life. Otherwise, you see, we came crying, Nanak Dukhya Sab Sansar. Sarvam Dukkham Dukkham, Sarvam Shanikam Shanikam, whether it's Guru Nanak, whether it's Buddha, or even Krishna's observation of this world which is Anityam Asukham Loka. So this world which is full of sorrow, sorrow, sorrow. You agree or not? You know, when I used to hear something like this, I didn't agree with it. Life was not that bad. Especially when you are children growing up, life is not that bad. No? I used to think, are these saints and sages so pathetic? That's why they must have become sadhus, you know. That's all people think also. People ask us also, Swamiji, at least now they don't ask because you have that age. But we all start so young, we are in our 20s. That's why they see our young brahmacharis and all that, and they ask them, why did you become a Swami? You can give them anything until unless you tell them that how miserable your life was, what a failure your life, they don't get convinced. They get very convinced if you say, yeah, you had a heartbreak. Yeah. Otherwise, why would somebody, you know, this is how our view of life is so small. Puja Gurudev used to say in his discourses on the Bhagavad Gita, especially when he describes the Arjuna condition of the mind, where he says, when we see life through the pinhole of our individuality, our ego, it appears to be a mad series of happenings. But stand apart and see the total picture, then you get the idea of the beauty that lies in this world. If you see a painting, any of these paintings, even these beautiful God pictures, if you go too close and see, you will see gaps, you will see pixels, you will see so many things, isn't it? But stand apart and see the whole picture. It is so beautiful. From where you are sitting, everybody around you with this multicolored clothes look a chaos. But from my viewpoint, Sahasra Shirsha Purusha. What a beauty lies in this whole crowd that is in front. So, when we view life from a larger vantage point, it appears so beautiful. That's why when you go on people go to the Rockies, people go Grand Canyon, and when from the top you watch, it is so beautiful, is it not? Same way, as long as we've got a very small viewpoint of life, everything seems to be a mad series of happenings. Smaller our thinking, greater is our excuses to be miserable. Larger our thinking, even the greatest tragedies in our life appear very insignificant. So I used to wonder why these saints say, oh Nanak Dukhya Sab Sansar, Sarvam Dukkham Dukkham, till my grandmother told, why don't you just touch your heart and listen to your heart? And as children, and why don't you all do it? Just listen to the beat of your heart. children will experience it as duk suk, duk suk. How did your heart sound? Even in movies you will see, no? Duk duk, duk duk, duk duk, duk duk, duk duk, duk duk, duk duk. Yeah? And living in sorrow, is it even worth living? You please tell. Now everybody says, no, there's enough joy in my life. But stay with anybody. First of all, we so hesitate to do our hands, fold our hands and say, Hari Om, Namaste. Even with little children, if you want to attract them, high five, Yeah? See how what is in our mind reflects in our life and our children, even though this might appear like a joke. But seriously, today even if you go to the villages of Africa and India, how does a 6-year-old child feel embarrassed to say, I mean not 6-year-old, a 1-year-old child feel embarrassed to fold his hand and say Hari Om or Namaste and is ready to immediately give a high five. See, hi, hi. Bye, bye. This is how our life has become even with relationships. Is it not? They call that as dating today. If life is full of joys and sorrows, yet if you remember, when you meet a person also, you rarely remember how good that person has been to you. You only remember that one mistake that person may have done. No? So understand this sorrow and our life's misery is according to the condition of our mind. And therefore in Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna says, Uddhared atmanat manam, na atmanam avasadayet. Take charge, take responsibility of your life. Don't keep blaming society, nature, media, this electronics or these technology and the politics. You lift yourself by yourself. If your mental condition is low, the whole world appears as a mad series of happenings. If your mind is strong and elevated, you understand the right place of things. You see the path through the maze. Is it not? What is better? That you mask yourself and remain locked down? Or your immune system is so strong that any virus that comes, your body is ready to face it. This is what we say in Hanuman Chalisa, Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi. And therefore Krishna says that your mind is your best friend. He says you only, because at this moment there are a number of yous within you. Swamiji, I thought I had a split personality. Yeah? You have the physical you, the mental you, and the intellectual you. The emotional and intellectual, physical, emotional, and intellectual you. And they themselves are in conflict with each other because they don't know what they want. Each one wants different things. Your thoughts, ideals, and knowledge tell you one thing, your mind takes you somewhere else, and your senses are constantly running after pizzas and hamburgers, even though they're vegetarian sometimes. This is where our inner conflict is going on. Now, because of our destiny, because of what is given to us by society, most of us have been really given the best. There are some tragic people whose destiny might be so that even from childhood they come up with such difficulties. Just now also I was in Africa, I was addressing students of the university. They told me to speak on motivating them, giving them confidence, helping them to face their mind, etc. Won't believe there were these youngsters, especially young men, with tears in their eyes. It won't be long till we start seeing this in our Indians also. With such despair that there is no hope, either politically, either emotionally, either in the family or in their environment. I had to speak to their vice chancellors, I had to speak to their professors that we need to do something. Today, even in this country, as much as confidence, etc., how many people are going through? I don't even use these words because our children don't need to go through this or even know this vocabulary. But it's becoming a matter of fact. Relationships breaking up because there's no amount of forbearance, fortitude. And what happens to the next generation? Do we even care to know? No? And this has not happened for the first time. Society goes through these cycles of ups and downs. The great lovers of the universe, the great saints and sages who cared, they did years of austerity. They did research and experimented on themselves and their own minds. And what they got out of such great difficulties and challenges. With obscene amounts of failures. They brought that Akash Ganga. They brought that knowledge and presented to us in such a simple manner that for millenniums people can benefit from it. Today, it is only there. This was for all mankind, not only for us. But fortunately, the only culture, the only society that could not be completely converted and broken up. I'm not talking about religious conversion. Is our Bharatiya culture. Sanatan Dharma. Today we call it as Hindu. Whatever name you may call it. No? It's not just a religion, it's culture, it's sociology, it's civics, it's sciences. Everything we require for our life. And if today we do not value it, we take it casually, we do not preserve it, we do not protect our next generation by giving them this precious knowledge, this precious tools, this special development to be that race of resilience rather than weak copycats. And yet, this great rich heritage, always when it is marketed from the West, we Indians buy it at a heavy price. How many of you, 30 years, would do yoga? You'd rather go to the gym. You do Pilates, even now. But now that yoga is popular. Great saints like Vedvyasa, Sri Adi Shankaracharya, Swami Vivekananda, our Puja Gurudev, came to awaken the sleeping masses and to awaken them to their rich heritage. These great rishis, who did not even claim any copyrights or patents, because they know that all knowledge is revealed knowledge. When your minds are attuned, but to attune that mind, the sacrifices that they did. But once they gain the knowledge or truth is really speaking very simple. And therefore, through the Guru Shishya Parampara, it was transferred. This knowledge is called as Shruti because it was revealed, it was heard. These mantras are called as Sanatan because they even now exist. Knowledge exists. Only someone has to discover it. And that happens when the attunement of the mind is there. And how do people attune their minds when they don't have the means for it? So that many, many great rishis, even Siddhartha had to struggle so much. And as Gurudev said, if he read the Bhagavad Gita, he didn't have to hear the sound of the the lute to say that not too loose, not too tight, just be right. Yeah. We discard the treasures of the past and we try to reinvent the wheel at a very heavy price, and most of all with a delay that sometimes is too expensive for us. Two mantras of the Veda that is useful for everyone's life. One is the Savitur Gayatri, that is Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. I was just now in Boston, so I took that mantra. And the other is the Maha Mrtyunjaya mantra, Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukhya Mamritat. These two mantras was revealed to the two greatest of all our rishis, and many rishis and rishikas. Rishis means that those who discovered this knowledge, not created this knowledge, to whom these mantras were revealed. This knowledge was revealed. And it passes on also through Shravan, no? Shruti. It is to be heard from the Guru. These two mantras that was passed on, one is the Gayatri mantra, which has the complete knowledge of the universe, because the Devatas went up to Brahmaji, the creator, and said, no, that knowledge is power. To give us that knowledge, he gave the entire Veda. Entire Veda in our lifetime, so I don't think so we can even see it and turn the pages of it. If you go to our ashram, the printed Veda is there. Printed by Swami Gangeshwarananda. But the very quintessence of all the Ved mantras is the Gayatri mantra. So Gayatri Mantra gives us the complete knowledge of the universe and that which lies beyond it. And knowing it, and with the inspiration, with that knowledge, when we live our life, we can live our life as glorious, as brilliant, as dynamic as the sun. That mantra was revealed to sage Vishwamitra. And sage Vishwamitra and sage Vashishta's stories most people know, but even if you don't know it, somewhere we will tell you. They were contemporaries of their time. And this Maha Mrtyunjaya mantra was revealed to sage Vashishta. Obviously before Vishwamitra also. If one teaches you how to live your life with knowledge, the other teaches you how to depart from this world with knowledge. And they are not two different things. Aisi karni kar chalo, that we attain bliss while living Gayatri Mantra, while departing Mahamrityunjaya Mantra. This is the power of this mantra. Now, Mahamrityunjaya Mantra, which was revealed to sage Vashishta, and Vashishta, as you know, is the very guru of the Raghu Vamsha, Ramchandraji's guru himself. And also this mantra was revealed to Shukracharya, who was the guru of the Asuras. And he could bring even dead people to life. That is the power of this Mahamrityunjaya mantra. The word Mrityu or death, I know on the very first day it's not right to take. Because people then disappear. Then you wonder, are they alive or gone for good? But death is the phenomena of life. And people live in this world in the fear of death. Even the word death frightens people. Yeah. But as Sant Tukaram has said, oh, why should I fear death? For I have seen the death of death many times in my life itself. I don't know that Marathi exactly abang, but maybe somebody of you here might remember that. In Kathopanishad, Mrityu Yasyopasechanam, for a realized master who has come to know what lies beyond death, death becomes just an appetizer. Chutney, as Gurudev would say, chutney. Pickle to give you a tickle. Gurudev had such an interesting manner, because suddenly it becomes serious. No, the moment death, you start getting. He said, what is death? Death for those who have got this knowledge of Vedanta. Death is just a pickle that gives you just a little tickle in your eternal life. Yeah? So this mantra is about life over death, of eternal, everlasting, blissful life. So don't be frightened by the word death. Because once you have the Mahamrityunjaya mantra, death is just an appetizer. No? And without appetizer, without samosa, without pakoda, without tempuras, without nachos, what is there? Your main meal is generally considered to be, that fills you up, no doubt. But, बोलते ना उसका मजा ही उसमें आता है कि नहीं? Yeah. when you get golgappa, pani puri before your meal, that becomes such a thing for such a person. Now this mantra given by sage Vashishta, to whom it was revealed, commonly understood that it wards off untimely death. Know that one thing, the physical death, like that the jiva also never dies. Your mind and intellect, with the reflection of consciousness, which is you, the individual, does not die when the body dies. That you can see. Childhood dies, you're still there, isn't it? Youth dies, you're still there. So at old age, when this body also goes away, you just get a fresh one. Come on, Our shopping mall in Hindus, India has got variety. It's not the same. Yeah? Have you seen the variety? Just go to your own wardrobe. Yeah? You don't have one evening dress, one office dress, especially your satsang dresses. Each day we will see, So, that which makes even death intriguing, interesting, that is called as Maha Mrtyunjaya mantra. Now, what is death? Generally, we just think when the body dies and a person is no more, that is called as death. But today, as you go out, please do get this book. It's probably the only commentary that you will find in English available. So see that each one of you have it, so that you have a depth knowledge, so that you can remind yourself after you have heard these discourses. Now don't say, if the book is there, why do we need you to tell, and why do I have to drive now so far and come? It's called as Shruti Baba. Yeah? And the mantra gets charged by our rishis through the knowledge that they give through that mantra. So that in the mantra there is the clarity of the vision, the means, how to, what for, and also to have that power by which the mantra reveals its truth. So we will go stage by stage, don't get impatient. All is essential. First and foremost, to understand that to what extent this mantra is useful to us in every aspect of our life. When we say the word death, what is death? Everything that is created will one day perish. That which is born will die. Jo pujo so binas hai. What is created will perish. What is in time appears, in time will disappear. If you are so proud of your scientific knowledge, then know that death is inevitable. But what is death? We celebrate birthdays, don't we? Yeah? Everybody wants their birthday to be celebrated. Even though they don't want to announce their age. But their 80th birthday. And if somebody manages to reach 90th birthday, now they can't put 90 candles. A very funny thing about birthdays. When you're little children, you want to put an extra candle. The once you become about 30, you just put 3 candles. One for luck. Then when you start becoming 80, you want to tell to everybody, I'm 90, because everybody says, 90, you look so young. Yeah. Everybody wants to remain young. See, we celebrate birthdays and we are even frightened of the word death. Nobody wants to die, right? Anybody wants to die? You want to die? Yeah. Nobody wants to die. I am telling you. Now you will say that because you are afraid of old age. Huh? But old people, you wonder. Yeah? Even at 103, they don't want to die. I'm telling you. And that spirit is good. I'm not saying that, no. Because we are eternal. And we never want to non-exist. But if you understand what is death, that which is born is going to die. We celebrate birth, right? But what are we celebrating the moment we celebrate a birthday? All our children and youth are constantly in their schools and university criticized about, the rituals and all that. I'm not ritualistic, and you also know I'm not ritualistic. I'm philosophical, I'm spiritual but not religious. Religious is all about rituals, all these clutter that has been put in our mind. But has anyone asked, why do you do this ritual of cutting the cake? Even if it's Indian or European or what is it? Why are you doing it? No, but that's how birthday. Birthday means there must be a cake. Why not halwa? Huh? Cake did never exist. Not that we didn't know baking, but why cake? Why not have delicious idli? Then, why do you put candles on it? And then you blow the candles. You blow the candles. Nobody asks, why do you do this ritual? First of all, blowing out light is considered to be inauspicious in our Indian culture. Therefore, lighting lamp. We start every ceremony by lighting lamps. And by blowing off light and creating darkness. Yet every Indian, my child's birthday, yeah? Please come. Yeah? Force them to come. Not only get gifts, but give return gifts. Yeah? But where we light lamps, do we have to tell people to come? Do we have to force people to come? Do we have to come every day? See, this is called Kumati Nivar Sumati Ke Sangi. I'm not going to go to explain that. When I do Hanuman Chalisa, you will get the meaning of it. No? But I tell you, Gurudev is such a master of every ritual, even though he was not ritualistic. He said, this is a very good ritual. Huh? And I used to think, what ritual is this? First of all, you light candles. Then you tell in one breath, blow it. Unhygienic. Pandemic spreading. And everybody. And then they put in their mouth. Then that dirty hand they put in their mouth and everybody's mouth. Yeah. After pandemic, all of you are untouchables. Yeah. Just see. And Gurudev said, you blow it, you spit on it, everything is considered to be inauspicious. And everybody is clapping, hey, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Only that day is happy. After that is another whole year of sorrow only. So why, do you know why everybody claps at that time? That means so many years blown out. So many years dead. You're closer to be gotten ridden off. That's why they're clapping. Yeah. So really speaking, that which is born will die. But birth and death are not two different things. They're the two sides of the same coin. That which is born will die, and that which is dying will be born. Just as every year you clap, childhood died, but the youth was born. Youth dies, the mature adult is born. Oh, but what? No, what if the adult goes and the old is born? No, the vintage, priceless vintage is born. Come on, change your attitude to your own self. I'm getting old. What are you getting old? Vintage has got its own price. Of course, it's not overused. Yeah? If you see birth and death in this way, then that which is birth is death, death is birth. That's why our Rishi says that you will never be born again. That's why freedom from birth and death. But there are people who want to be born again. You will not be forced to be born again. And therefore, birth and death means change. Birth and death means change. And today, as you know, every company, one of the biggest management expenses on change management. Maha Mrtyunjaya mantra helps you to manage change. Then, if you have an unproductive life, what do you say? As good as dead. No? Maha Mrtyunjaya mantra gives you the strength to rise from that unproductive stages of mental depressions, dejections, paralysis, to be productive members of society and to be fulfilling in your life. So many such meanings of death we have to understand. Now today, since we started, and then we have it's got so much time, so tomorrow I'll explain in more detail. And really speaking, death loses its fear. Even if you understand that this Maha Mrtyunjaya mantra helps us to deal with everything that creates sorrow, everything that creates misery, everything that creates incapability in our life, and really speaking, everything for which you'd rather wish death over life. It helps us to conquer all that. It's a very, very important mantra, and mantras are like capsules. The more you dwell in it, volumes and volumes of knowledge which is there in the Veda that get revealed to us. We will not only go through the chanting of it, how to meditate upon it and unfold the deeper meaning of it. Then when you contemplate, it reveals to you your immortal nature. So tomorrow we will expound, and each step we will expound, each word we will expound, and then what the whole mantra reveals. I'd request all of you, even though the hall is completely packed, I request all of you to see that you bring your teenagers and encourage your youth, whatever age they may be, to also come. We'll open up the other rooms. Let's see if we can even do the video. Why don't they watch at home? There's a big difference. No? And all of you also, don't lose this opportunity. I know there'll be some music concert that you may have bought your ticket for, yeah? Or there'll be always some client or some sister-in-law coming for shopping. There can be 101 excuse. But neyam sajjana sange chittam. There will be no shortage of people here for which we are saying. But do not lose these opportunities. Yeah? Otherwise, like many of you regret today that you were just next door to Gurudev, and you did not take that opportunity. And at whatever age you get the spiritual knowledge, and in the spiritual knowledge, so many wonderful things are there in Vedanta. The only one regret remains is, why did not I gain it earlier? So step by step we will be unfolding it, and of course each day will be with a new revelation, and of course the finale is the finale. Okay, so see that you are here on time, and we will take this. Sometimes depending on this, little 5 minutes here or there, but we will unfold this Mrtyunjaya mantra. See that all of you get this book. Also, have you got the Shiv Panchakshara Stotram book? Anyway, tomorrow we have that, we'll also speak about that. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Nasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Thank you very much, Swamiji.